All right, that wraps up item 11. We are running more than a wee bit late here. Let us move on to issue number 12, Aliso Canyon. While everybody's stepping forward, I'm pretty sure I saw flash across my my phone a cost estimate for the Aliso Canyon issue of $665 million. I believe I saw that, but maybe I'm wrong. Regardless, this has certainly been a costly endeavor and an issue for the folks local to that disaster and for the state of California. Whenever you're ready to proceed.
Chairman, members, my name is David Bunn. I'm the Director of the Department of Conservation, and in our department is the Division of Oil, Gas, and Geothermal Resources. And what I'm going to do is just give a brief introduction of a package of measures that the administration has put forward before the agencies give their individual comments. So I'm focused on this package for a minute. And so prior to the Aliso Canyon leak this past year, there was no dedicated regulatory program solely focused on the safe, reliable operation of gas storage facilities in the state. In the past, the Department of Conservation's Division of Oil and Gas and Geothermal Resources gave no more priority to a gas storage well than it gave to an oil well. The gas storage was part of a broader underground injection control program, and it was not given the special considerations for things like the uniqueness of high-pressure wells at these facilities. Last October, a few weeks before the Aliso Canyon incident, our department released a new renewal plan for the Division of Oil, Gas, and Geothermal Resources. In that plan, we spelled out quite a number of changes and improvements we felt were needed to move our regulatory program forward. And among those items was recommendations for regulatory overhaul of the underground injection control program, and within that, it would address the injection wells involved in gas storage facilities. However, those measures hadn't been adopted yet and had not been implemented. The Department of Conservation, the Energy Commission, the Air Resources Board, the Office of Environmental Health Hazard Assessment, and the PUC have all worked closely together since that event to develop a comprehensive program to ensure the safe, environmentally sound, and reliable operation of gas storage facilities across the state, and to make sure that there's never again an Aliso Canyon type incident. The massive leak at Aliso Canyon highlighted unique features and challenges of operating gas storage facilities that are different from oil production and injection wells. I'll mention three of these. Gas storage facilities are under high pressure, which is not the case for oil wells. Storage failure of a gas well can cause a massive leak, as we experienced. And failure of a single well can disrupt the operation of an entire facility that can potentially have impact on gas reliability. So a lesson learned from Aliso Canyon is that a dedicated and comprehensive monitoring and regulatory program is definitely warranted. The program should do the following: carefully monitor, test, and regulate the wells, pipelines, and facilities, monitor and assess air quality of communities that live near these facilities, and evaluate, model, and plan for the broader operation and reliability of gas storage operations in the state, and the reliability for gas-supported electrical production in the state. The budget package before you today does just that. I will discuss briefly the component of the Department of Conservation, and the other agencies will speak to the components of their departments.
If you could keep it as brief as possible,
Very brief.
I'd appreciate it, and
Okay.
try not to. We have a recommendation to approve the spring fiscal letter, so
Okay.
those things that are in the staff report, just assume that we already know them.
Okay.
Please.
Well, I'll skip the second page. Well, basically, our department's portion of this is the regulation, testing, monitoring of the actual wells and wells themselves, and our portion of the budget is basically to address that portion of the package. And I'll just leave it there.
Right. Thank you. Does LAO have comments?
We have comments related to the PUC portion of the request. I don't know if you would like us to make them now. So I think, so our recommendation is to convert 3 positions of the 10 positions that the PUC is asking for their activities related to Aliso Canyon from permanent to 3-year limited term, and it's really just a matter of the ongoing workload associated with those positions. It's unclear to us, and so we recommend the legislature revisit it after 3 years.
All right. Were there any other presentations? Did I skip over anybody? No.
Ellen Riley, Department of Finance. I just wanted to say that all of the departments with requests are here today, just in case the subcommittee had questions about the proposals.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions from the dais? Mr. Williams?
Well, I unfortunately have a lot of storage wells that may be the next ones to break down because there are some of the older ones in the state. So my questions are just with the additional Dogger staff. When will the La Goleta gas facility have its risk management plan in place? I mean, we have a number of them. How many more inspections of natural gas facilities can happen as a result of those Dogger positions? And I guess, you know, if you don't have the answers right in front of you, which I don't expect you to know everything about everyone in the state, I'd just love to get the answer to those.
Well, under the emergency regulations, which we will turn into permanent regulations, these positions to support those activities, and those activities are basically to apply the same standards to all gas storage facilities in the state. So we will methodically basically go around the state to all 14 facilities. And I couldn't tell you at this moment when we'll be in Goleta's field doing it, but it won't be just one by one. We have, we have what? Okay, there we go. It'll be done in August.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm glad I asked.
There you go. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
That's very responsive.
Great. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, I'll, Mr. Patterson.
Really quickly, I'd like to, we're packaging all issue 12 together for the vote, right?
Correct.
I have some concern with respect to the Public Utilities Commission piece of it. Are we adopting the LAO's recommendation to convert these 3 positions or not in this motion?
Yeah, that's not part of the staff recommendation.
If that's not the case, then I'd like to split that vote.
Or you could make the motion that it be included. I'm not sure what the...
Well,
I would be friendly to the motion that it...
that I'd make the motion to include the LAO.
Okay. I will second that.
Thank you very much.
All right.
And then I'll move the issue 12.
All right, thank you. And we have a second on that, and I'll just add my comment, correcting my, adding a little information to my comment early on about $665 million. Since that raised a couple of eyebrows, that is actually being reported as Sempra's estimate of their costs in responding to Aliso Canyon, so not even taking into consideration the other costs that we've been talking about today and costs that haven't been covered by Sempra at this point that families may have incurred, et cetera. So I think it just gives us an idea of the scale of this issue and why it's so important to avoid it in the happening again in the future. With that, we'll move to a vote on this motion.
Bloom,
Aye.
Bigelow, Gordon, Patterson.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Items out.
Thank you. Our next issue is now Department of Conservation, and that's issue 13, the oil and gas studies spring finance letter.
David Bunn, Director of the Department of Conservation. This item is basically a follow-up to Senate Bill 4 on well stimulation. There was a science study required under that bill, which we implemented, and based on that science study, a number of follow-up studies were recommended. This budget item is to fund those recommended studies.
Thank you. LAO?
We didn't have any issues.
Department of Finance? Do we have public comment on this item? Seeing none. All right, we're going to pass this item and not vote on it at this time, waiting for Mr. Gordon to arrive. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. My mistake. Do we have a motion on this item?
I'm sorry, where are we? This is 13?
This is 13, yes.
I'll move it.
I'm going to be abstaining.
A second, okay. We have a motion and a second. Let's proceed to vote.
Bloom,
Aye.
Bigelow, Gordon, Patterson,
Not voting.
Williams.
Aye.
All right, we'll hold this open for other members to vote on and move on now to issue 14, oil and gas training program. You want to just pass over this? Okay, so we're going to hold this item. We will come back to it and head right into issue 15.
Issue 15 is basically funding for 10 positions to implement AB 1420, which is basically a bill for us to implement a gas management and safety program throughout the state to ensure that operators know where their pipes are and that they're well cared for, and so we don't have a repeat of the incident that occurred in Arvin, California a few years ago.
Thank you. We have a recommendation to approve on this item. Is there any public comment? Any other comments on it? Then let's proceed. We have a motion and a second. Mr. Williams seconding.
Bloom,
Aye.
Bigelow, Gordon, Patterson,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Thank you. That passes. Issue number 16 is with the
Coastal Commission.
Do you want to keep these guys here, or do you want to tell them to stick around as a courtesy and then bring it up when he comes back? I don't know.
Well, we think that Mr. Gordon is going to be here soon, so if you don't mind sticking around
Sure.
For that issue number 14, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
16? We're doing 16?
You're not 16, right?
That's right. We have,
So you'll come back.
I think Gordon wants to engage. So we'll welcome the Coastal Commission forward. We're not as disorganized as I sound.
I guess we just hit this afternoon.
Whoa. Welcome, former staff of mine.
Thank you. We're happy to be here. I'm Susan Hanch, the Commission's Chief Deputy Director, and I have Sarah Christie with me, who is our Legislative Director, and we're here today to fully support the Governor's budget. This approval that you're seeing today puts in the Commission's baseline budget the 3-year pilot program that this legislative committee has seen several times and supported, and it puts the staff needed to work with local governments to complete local coastal programs, update them, and address climate change. And we're here to answer any questions.
Great, thank you. Are there any other presentations? Is there public comment?
Good afternoon, Chair Bloom and Commissioners. Amy Trainer with the California Coastal Protection Network. Just wanted to say a huge thank you to the Governor for making these 25 staff positions permanent. We think this is really needed. We think this is really going to advance the planning that we need, particularly to address sea level rise and climate change, and we offer our strong support. Thank you.
Alfredo Redondo with Conservation Strategy Group here on behalf of the Nature Conservancy, echoing Amy's comments just now, as well as just to say that Nature Conservancy has been involved for the last 5 years in supporting nature-based solutions to the problems that local communities are facing with sea level rise. Definitely support the recommendation, the staff recommendation on this, and thank you for your support.
All right.
Thank you.
we have one.
Sorry. Juan Altamirano, Audubon, California, in full support of these measures. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is a program that we started 2 years ago? 3 years ago, and I was happy to support it then. It has proven to be a great success, as I suspected it would, as both a local government official and a former member of the Coastal Commission. So I'm very pleased to make the motion to approve this item as budgeted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and let's proceed to a vote.
Bloom,
Aye?
Bigelow, Gordon, Patterson,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the PUC items. Issue number 17, the SCHIP program, happy to hear about it, but bear in mind we have a recommendation to hold open. And again, in keeping with our late hour here, we have a number of items that we have to deal with after the regular agenda. I'll ask you to keep your comments as brief as possible. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Assemblymember Bloom. I'm glad to be here. I'm Tim Sullivan, the Executive Director of the Public Utilities Commission. Because of the late hour, I'm going to, there's a handout, and I won't even bother to go through it. I wanted to say that the proposals that you have before you fall into three broad areas. They're budget change proposals and spring finance letters that build our core administrative functions. Those are things that we need to do to improve what we do to serve Californians. The second set of things are things that arise from existing programs, such as the Lifeline program, which we have in place, and they've changed over time. And to keep up with those changes in the environment, participation, we have proposals. And finally, the third set of proposals are those that are driven by legislation. Altogether, we have requests before you, counting the Aliso Canyon, $307 million and 93.75 positions. I have with me the Deputy Executive Director, Ryan Doolin, who can talk to any of the specific proposals. And with me on my right is the head of the Policy and Planning Division, Marzia Zafar, and she will lead off with the response to the SGIF questions.
Thank you. So the PUC has already implemented the two essential elements of SGIP. One, the extension of the program to 2021. That was done in 2014. And number two, adopting the GHG emission factor. That was done in 2015. In the next 2 weeks, we are going to issue a decision that will adopt SB 861 in full. And we are hoping now that the parties can come to a unified settlement on how to allocate the funds based on the last auction. And if that does not happen, we do not oppose the staff recommendation.
Thank you. Are there any additional comments from LA or Department of Finance? Is there any public comment on this item? Then we'll be holding this item open, and we'll. I'm sorry, Mr. Williams.
On SCHIP, you know, I think this last minor debacle kind of underscores the question: why would we have a first-come, first-served system for SCHIP? Why wouldn't we do something like an auction, or a reverse auction, which the PUC has used very successfully to maximize the deployment of preferred resources for the least cost? Seems like you would want to do the same kind of model for deployment of the kind of storage and self-generation devices that SCHIP funds.
You're absolutely right. We had a workshop in March after the minor debacle to figure out how to improve this, and that's something that we're looking at, and we're going to be sure to improve the process so this doesn't happen again.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Tim Sullivan again. I just wanted to say we're totally open to entirely relooking at this question. I also wanted to say that in general we support all the recommendations of the Legislative Analyst Office and of the legislative committees on the items that you have before you.
Thank you. So we're holding issue 17 open, and issue 18 is the IT restructuring.
Good afternoon, Committee Chair. I'm Ryan Doolan with the PUC. We have two proposals under the PUC IT restructuring for issue 18. In the essence of time, I'll go ahead and won't reiterate what staff has put together. The Commission is in agreement with the staff recommendation, including the new recommendation for the business process inventory that was suggested by the committee. So the Commission is in agreement with that and will report back according to the schedule.
Thank you. LAO, Department of Finance, public comment?
Mr. Chairman, Josh Pane on behalf of the California Bus Association supporting this item for the PUC. We appreciate their efforts to put this IT in place. Thank you.
Thank you. We do have a staff recommendation on this item. Is there a motion? This is on page 62.
You're splitting this. There are two matters, the restructuring and the EFAST. I'd like to vote on one yes and another one no.
Okay. Do you want to make the motion on the part that you're
I'll make a
supporting
motion
in that
on
way?
the IT restructuring. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. That's the one.
So what I wanted to do is make sure we get it right.
I'm sorry. Good. All right. Thanks.
All right. I think Mr. Williams just did that, so we'll. I'm sure I heard him.
Bloom?
Well, aye.
Bigelow? Gordon? Patterson?
No.
Williams?
All right. And
I'll make the motion on the EFAST. Have we heard that one yet?
Yeah, they're part of the package. So we have one SFL and one BCP.
and there's also reporting trailer bill language for PUC reporting on its business process inventory efforts. Is that included in your motion?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Okay, great. So that's the motion, and it's been seconded by Mr. Gordon.
Bloom?
Aye.
Gordon? Patterson?
Aye.
Williams?
Issue 19 has already been addressed in and subsumed with in issue 12, so we needn't vote again on that. Issue 20 is the spring finance letter on PUC legal fees. I am going to ask that we hold that item open, and so again, I'll ask if you just make a very brief presentation on
Sure.
that item.
Sure. So the need for the legal funds is to cooperate with the two state and federal criminal investigations regarding the conduct of the CPUC. The subjects or targets of the investigations are unknown to the PUC, as we have not been told by either U.S. Department of Justice or the State Attorney General's office on exactly who the targets are and what the investigation really is. Attorneys have been hired specifically for reviewing hundreds of thousands of documents to identify and produce those called for in the subpoenas and search warrants. Their rate is $45 an hour. Under the law, the PUC cannot simply dump all records onto the investigators. The CPUC has a legal obligation to produce records that are responsive to the subpoenas and search warrants. An outside counsel is not providing any criminal defense to anyone, current or past PUC employees.
Thank you. Are there any additional comments from LAO or Department of Finance? Is there any public comment? So I'm suggesting that we hold this item open so that a little more work can be done on it. Perhaps we can get to a plurality of votes on it. I'm not sure we'd be able to do that today. So we'll hold the item open and ask our staff to continue to work with the department and stakeholders on issue 20. Issue 21 is the 211 telephone referral services.
So this is language, budget bill language permitting the PUC to expand 211 telephone services to the 21 counties that currently lack the access to the service. We understand the merits of this proposal, but wanted to share with the committee some additional considerations. The fund currently subsidizes about 50% of the monthly reoccurring cost for 211 services. The budget bill would actually implement one-time cost allowable expenditures for startup cost or infrastructure, one-time infrastructure cost in the beginning. We think that the current California Teleconnect Fund that funds the 211 services has existing pressures on the fund, so any additional expenditures would then add additional pressures beyond our existing fund expenditures that are allowable. And finance could speak to the condition of the fund, but I think that they would agree that any additional expenditures would then have a impact on surcharge increases.
Department of Finance.
Kathy Madison with Department of Finance. The condition of the fund, any additional expenditures from the fund would result in a surcharge rate increase to the consumers. This would also open up the teleconnect to an additional industry using the fund. And so we just want to make you aware that it would increase the surcharge to telecommunication consumers.
All right, thank you. Does LAO have any comments? Is there any public comment on this item?
Bloom and committee members for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Maribel Marin, and I am the president of 211 California. I'm also the executive director of 211 Los Angeles. 211 California is an organization that is a collaboration between the United Ways of California and CARES, the California Association of Information and Referral Systems. And we've been working together since 2004 to build the coalition of 211s across the California. And we've been successful in helping 37 counties bring 211 online. And we are here today to really ask you to strongly to support this budget bill language, because 211 needs to be accessible to all counties in California, and the 21 that currently don't have it are the most rural parts of California. And the reason we're here today is because 211 also serves not just as an information and referral service provider for social services and access to the social service safety net, but it provides support during disaster. And probably the most evident example of how we support disaster response was in the 2007 firestorms, when Southern California, 6 counties in Southern California were hit with concurrent fires, the largest in San Diego, causing an evacuation of 500,000 residents. And of course, all those evacuees were headed north into counties that were also impacted by their own fires. And we were able to work together and get information out to people, regardless of where they were coming from, to make sure that they knew when they could come back, where they could go to get shelter, where they could take large animals, because a lot of the areas that were impacted by fires had residences that had large animals, not easy to shelter. So we know that the rural parts of California are very similar to the areas that are vulnerable to fires and firestorms, and we have a lot of experience in handling those types of situations. If we can get the 21 counties that currently don't have 211 up and active, we believe that we can leverage the existing 211 network to support disaster in those areas as well. So I strongly urge you to support this bill language today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christy Woods, representing the American Red Cross. This is a vital service that we refer clients to every single day, but as she just said, especially during times of disaster and emergencies, we're heading into another horrible year of fire season, and we really have found in the last 3 years that where these fires have been occurring in these rural counties, the service wasn't available, and it really caused a lot of problems for us. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is an issue that is of great importance to our absent colleague, Mr. Bigelow, so I'll speak both on my own behalf and his. He does represent one of those rural counties that is not currently covered by the 211 system, and believes and recognizes, as I do, that the system has great value for the reasons that were stated very eloquently by our speaker in public comment. With that said, and speaking as a former board member of the American Red Cross of Santa Monica, I'd like to make the motion to approve the staff recommendation, which is to adopt the budget bill language. We have a motion and a second. Let's move forward on a vote.
Bloom?
Aye.
Bigelow? Gordon? Patterson? Williams?